Creators of the Iamverse. Welcome to
The
Creator Show.
Creator Show, yes.
And
I missed my cue. I tried. I was waiting for it. You know, it's like when you see do you ever do that on escalators? Like you kind of, shall I not? I think it's some trauma when I was 5 years old. I rolled down from the top right down to the bottom.
God.
Never knew this.
Like I remember the moment.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's why I'm awakened.
Is that why your head is like this?
And today I missed my cue again. Damn.
We can start again
Why?
Yeah.
so that you feel included.
Okay, go again. Do it.
but why, if life is like this?
I mean, you can never give up. Just have to keep going.
No, it's
and
not. But
trying.
it's not. You know, it's life is about trying, striving for perfectionism, trying to be perfect, but accepting that it's not, just like our dirty walls.
Just like
Dirty walls, dirty thoughts.
I wasn't going to mention it because the moment I mention it, everyone now notices that our walls are extremely dirty. This used to be the storeroom, just to let everyone know. And now it's turned into the new podcast room. So that's why it's looking a bit strange.
this is our escalator intro. Welcome to the Creator Show.
Welcome.
Welcome, welcome.
Oh my God.
What's
I just think it's very funny. Like, we come into the room, we're like, okay, in my mind, I'm thinking, what message can we share so that people feel empowered by listening to what we have to say?
No, but I think this is empowering.
Exactly. This is very empowering, and we don't, like, it just came through.
Imperfection, perfect. No. I shouldn't try things like that. My English is not good enough to try things like that.
Maybe you can say it in Arabic.
You know what I'm saying?
Like
It's like
perfectly
when
imperfect.
John Legend sings, "I love your imperfections."
Yeah.
That's how life should be. Is that what he says, or am I just making that
Yeah,
up?
it's the song. No?
He sings that, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He loves his wife's imperfections.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But we should love all imperfections in life, no?
Yeah.
Because nothing is
absolutely.
perfect. And even when we think it's perfect, it's a distortion.
But we love our imperfections, but the audience are going to love our dirty walls. That's up to you. So comment. What do you think about that?
No, actually, I was. It's interesting we talk about this because this is quite parallel to like the feelings we've been having with our organization recently, observing other networking events and things, especially here in Bling Bling Dubai. Like everything's very polished and perfect. Well, Dubai is perfect, no? Like, I mean, aesthetically perfect.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like, well, you were born here.
I was born and raised here, so I've seen all the transitions of how they got to this point.
You're the legit Dubaianese.
Yeah. Dubaians. Min Dubai.
What's that?
It's from Dubai.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. But I think but you've traveled before.
Yeah, I've been to a lot of other countries. And I've studied abroad for a bit, so
Abroad where?
to Australia,
Oh,
Melbourne.
and what's your first feelings when you're outside?
When I went to Australia, or
Just like
my first
well, okay,
culture
your
shock.
yeah, culture. Oh yeah, culture shock. Oh my God, I can't believe people don't open the doors for me, and I can't believe
Well,
there's no
I'm not
Lamborghinis
a
around.
princess in here.
Okay.
My first culture shock was when I traveled to Japan, actually, because the people there are extremely respectful to each other and
They're
to us.
respectful, you know.
When I came back, I was like, oh, okay, this is like not the same.
Really?
Yeah, it's on another level.
Yeah, I've heard about Japan, but I've never been before, so I
Yeah.
couldn't really compare. What about Australia? You've got an Australian
Australia-
next to you right now.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, what are you going to say?
People
Be
are very
honest.
chill, very like friendly.
They all surf.
Yeah, they're like the
They
chill
just all
guy,
carry a
you
surfboard.
know?
I mean, I can imagine him carrying a surfboard around with him every day.
If you don't have one in your hand, you have one on the roof of your car, just waiting.
Well, if you were NFT, you would have one on your head.
Yeah, I mean, he has the beach curls, you know, already.
No, you look
Sun-kissed.
like you just came fresh from the sea.
Yeah,
Just walked out of the ocean.
yeah.
Strolled around.
You smell
What's the little
salty,
name?
so
I smell salty.
yeah.
Can you smell me from over there? I didn't realize it was going to get so intimate on this couch.
You smell salty.
It's the whole experience, you know.
No, but what was your feeling when you? I'm actually intrigued when you first went to Australia. where things are. There's nature, right? It's natural.
Oh, the nature, you mean? Yeah, it was like very cold, and they had a lot of green in there.
So how
opposed to
do you
us.
desert girls feel seeing all that green? No, because I know from the other perspective, right? You got the Greenland people coming into Dubai. It's like, where's the trees?
Exactly.
Like they feel there's something missing. But do you see the trees and like, what on earth is this? It's like, where's the sand?
What's
Like,
going on?
yeah. Well, how's your feeling? Or do you think, oh, it's nice? Or how do you?
Yeah, I feel like it's something that's been missing in my life. Like I see it in cartoons and I see it in movies, and it feels like a distant fantasy. Like it's not something that I can't experience in my life. But when I travel, and it feels strange. Feels like, oh, there's like danger or like bugs or something that's gonna kill me or something, you know. But from a distance, it looks nice.
It feels much safer here.
Yeah,
It does feel safe here.
yeah. Because we don't have many things that could kill us, unlike like Australia, you know.
That's true.
Yeah.
I was walking down Al Sif the other day, and they have the old city, the new old city.
Yeah, the old.
The new old city.
Yeah.
So it's you've been before.
No,
You've been before. Yeah, you have. We went together. The first time I went with Bunty, and many years ago, 3 years ago or something. I'll see if that you walk through next to the water, and then you go all the way to the end, and then there's a old building. Looks like you've walked into a scene of Aladdin. You remember we took some photos there?
I remember the place, but
She doesn't remember. I know that when you see that response, you're like, I know she doesn't remember.
You've never been. You should go.
I
No.
don't remember.
So
Yeah.
I like, you walk in there. You feel like you're on a scene of Aladdin. It seems like an old city, but it's brand new. Imagine like these old, like Aladdin.
Now
But
I
then
remember.
imagine you open the door with a access card. You know, it's like that automatic. You know, and so it's when I was walking down there, I was realizing like I really appreciate Dubai for its aesthetics, and it just looks pleasing. It just looks, it's perfection. It just looks like perfection. It's clean. All this
Clean.
street.
Yes.
Like I just took my I just took my shoes and socks off in Al Sif, and then I just did some yoga on the platform. But I got told off. They said, "Put your shoes back on, please."
Oh, really?
The security came over.
Wow.
But that's how clean. I'm saying that because that's how clean I felt it was. That I just feel like, oh, it's home. You know, like that in the middle of the street. And that's how I feel about Dubai. But it seems like sometimes there's a soul that's missing. It's not identifiable. It's not a physical thing. It's a metaphysical thing.
It's very strange for me because I always hear foreigners say that,
Yeah.
but I feel the opposite completely. I feel that
Because
there's a
that's
lot
why
of soul.
I'm speaking to you about it, because
Yeah.
you're the desert girl.
Yeah, exactly.
You
Like
breathe
I can go.
desert, you breathe sand,
Yes.
your blood is made of sand.
Yeah.
Wait for the
basically.
next sandstorm to roll in.
Yeah, sandstorm, and then
Yeah. Oh,
so you feel.
you feel soulless in the desert? Do you mean, or is it the city?
No, it's strange. It's a hard thing. How do you explain it? I mean, what do you feel coming in from Australia or Germany?
Yeah, I think there's a whole diversity of all the buildings here, and everything's so elegant and extravagant, and just so many different things. Just to be like, everywhere you turn your head's like, wow. Just, it's like one of the Owen Wilson things from Instagram. You just, everywhere there's something interesting. But yeah, I kind of know what you're saying. Like,
You can't put your finger on it. It's not like it's that. It's kind of just a. I'll tell you what. I don't know if you guys experienced this, but maybe in the past 10 years, I've been experiencing a lot more of this. When I was growing up, I used to hate like museums and cathedrals and just anything that's old. I used to hate it, like, growing up. I had no interest at all in history or even exploring this type of thing. But I used to just think it's old. But I think after the going on spiritual journey and things, and being more empathic and sensitive to energies, it's really straight. I walk into a cathedral. I can go to Italy, walk into a cathedral, or even in the UK, walk into a church, and like I could sit there. It's absolutely silent, but I get loads. When I close my eyes, I get loads of scenes of the people walking by, the busyness, like when there's nobody in there, and I hear sounds of like the past life people were there. It's like I feel the life. I feel so much, and I feel the emotions of the people who maybe went through a lot of challenges. I also feel the happiness. I feel all of it. Like it's almost like that soul is still there. I feel that, you know. I don't know if you guys can resonate with that, but I enjoy it. Like I can go into a cathedral these days, and I come out and I feel like I've just watched a few movies, like of different stories of people's lives, you know. And that's the thing that I don't get here. Like physically, I look at it and it's like, wow. And then when I sit there, it's literally just me and you, you know. It's like it seems like there's not the history doesn't go far enough for it. It feels like that energy's not there. I don't know how else to explain it, but
yeah, I think from my perspective, there's two things that you can connect to, which is like people, and then there's nothingness. So I used to remember when I was a kid, I would ride in my grandfather's car, and we would go like in the desert 3-4 hours, and I would spend the whole day there. He would work with the camels and the goats, but I would just keep walking in nothingness for like hours. And I would sit and just connect with nothing. And to me, that was everything in a way. And I was like just a child. And I would do that every day. So maybe to me, like the nothing is something.
Were you a weird child growing up?
Very weird. Very. Like
and
my mom would...
And that's why you're part of the team now.
Exactly. Like my mom would look for me every single day. Like she would walk in the neighborhood just like, where's Selma? Is she dead? Is she alive? I don't know. Maybe she'll come back like at 9 p.m. She doesn't know. And thank God I came back.
So when you're walking in the desert, what are you connecting to? What are you like?
I used to like to sit where the wind would hit my ears. And, you know, you hear this sound like like this. And I would just like lose myself in that sense, you know. I don't know how to explain it.
It sounds so, I mean, I'm just visualizing what you're saying, but it sounds so beautiful. Like, just like
and it's like the breeze is just coming at you, and you just think, am I the last one on earth right now? How would it be if I was? And it's like, it's so strange, but it's so beautiful.
And then you feel in connection and oneness with everything.
Exactly.
And you don't need anything in that moment.
Yes, exactly. That's what I crave the most right now.
You are so weird. No, I'm saying that this is how we all are in this space now.
Exactly.
It's just that I think I'm better at pretending to be more human.
Do we need to?
I think so. I think so. Like I've been speaking. I mean, our community's been building more and more here in Dubai as well, and I noticed that the people we are attracting is not your typical Dubai bling people. You know, so they are, you know, either on the beginning of this type of journey or they're quite deep into it, and the ones that are quite deep into it, I don't think they realize what their struggle is, but I think I see what their struggle is. Like they would be like, they think like nobody understands me, or nobody's ever understood me, or I was a lonely kid, you know, I was by myself and I had my own thoughts and things, and then I feel they have a deep sense of calling, like they feel like they're so connected with their soul purpose, and I must do something in this lifetime, but at the same time I feel like a lot of people are not getting them. And so...
I know what you're saying, like that soul calling is actually, they've read so deep into it that it's kind of disconnecting them from...
Yeah, and I see a lot of them actually showing signs of frustration that they feel like they're not fulfilling their soul purpose. And they're so deeply connected with their soul purpose, but they haven't got clarity in terms of how to bring it to planet Earth and humans. I feel that is, I mean, if people that just enjoy being out there, then be out there forever. But I feel I see that being the struggle, like for many of them, and that's why I think for me personally, I feel it's a blessing to have come from a very material, you know, a good like 10, 15 years of my life was living a very humanly partying and making money and career chasing, you know, and I think it's because then I feel like I can relate to these guys so much now that I went that way first, and then I flipped and went the complete opposite way, and then I come back and I say, actually, if you figure it both sides out, it's quite useful, you know.
Yeah. Let's bring these worlds together.
It's true. I mean, it's true because Dubai is like that. I think it started out spiritual with nothing, and then suddenly it had this boom of materialism.
And does it not look like a lot of people are lost in that?
Very lost, especially the men. Like all the men that I have interacted with, and I hear other women talking about them. It's that sense of purpose, that not being able to feel fulfilled, or not being able to feel needed, or they've achieved something, because they have the support from the government when it comes to money, and like they can have the house, the car, the career is guaranteed, you know. But then where's that sense of purpose that is like being fulfilled?
Because how many like animals do they have that they can go and hunt? Right?
True.
What's that?
How many animals in the desert can they go and hunt?
You are weird too. Where did that come from? Where did that
I
come
was just trying to think like what kind of gives men a feeling of purpose? Not that you know,
Right.
Not that I
Right,
go out
but
and
because
hunt
they're
animals.
not hunting now, they need to find it in this material world. And it just so happens that what is deemed as successful are the ones with the most money and the most bling.
True.
And so now, to be, you know, successful, they're just chasing. Everybody's trying to be that next one.
Yeah.
But it's quite hard to chase out here. Like there's no end to it. We're driving down the Palm. I don't know if you know which house that is. It might be a famous house. I don't know. But we're driving down the Palm one day, and there's this house right at the end. And were you there that day? The whole house is made of gold.
Wow.
You've never seen it before. I
No.
thought it might be some famous house. It was right at the end. Like all the houses look like, okay, there's still nice mansions and all the way. You go right to the end, and the last one of the gate is golden gate, and the whole house is gold. It's just shine that you can't see anything. Just
Sounds like
blinding.
a house that belongs to an Indian guy. I'm very sure. Yes. Do you know about the guy who has the gold vest thing that he wears? I think it costs $300K.
Oh, no.
He lives in Dubai, so I think it's his house. I'm sure.
Indian guy.
Huh?
Indian guy.
Indian guy.
So half your ancestral.
Yeah, it should, but it's like I have the Arab and the Indian. I should be the most rich, but I'm not. It's like how?
Because you were too in touch with the sand whistling in your ears.
Exactly. I wasted all that time.
While everyone was digging for oil, you were just sat
oil,
there. Oh, there's
exactly.
loads of sand in my ear.
Maybe I was autistic. I don't know. There was some trouble inside, but it's fine now. I think.
Why you say the gold house should be by an Indian guy? Why?
Because that's their aesthetic. I think they like to show they have the most.
Emiratis don't like that. Oh no, actually they're quite.
They don't like that.
Yeah, it's different, huh?
Yeah. Emiratis, they like to show they're humble,
Yeah.
but they're not humble.
Yeah. I like that.
Like we're the most humble, we're like the most down to earth. But they're like,
That's a flex, though.
it is
Humble.
Yeah.
Showing your humbleness is a flex.
Yeah.
I don't tell anyone. I don't publicize. You know, when I donated a few mil to charity, I don't publicize it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that type, like that type of conversation. That's the
Yeah.
humble flex. No.
True. Actually, in Islam, I think it's haram to say that you've donated something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you should not. Like your left hand should not know what your right hand did. That's what they say.
But it's very. It happens a lot. So haram is happening all the time now.
Yeah. I mean, if you ask. Let's not get into that, but
Yeah. No, I thought when you were saying about Indian, I thought you meant like I thought you meant that gold house is tasteless.
Oh,
No.
it is very tasteless.
No, because this is sometimes as Chinese when we talk about China, the group that used to be farmers and then suddenly became rich because they had a lot of land.
Yes.
And then they're the people who you usually see in like Beijing or Shanghai, and then you know who they are because they're the old guys who are Gucci shoes, Gucci socks, Gucci, like that all the way. And it's like, okay, I know where you're from.
We actually have that in here too, like a saying. They've never seen like good in their life.
Yeah.
So suddenly when it happens, like they just show it off all. Yeah. You can tell people who come from old money and people who come from new money. Yeah. So it's very interesting. I don't come from either. So,
I think it's interesting what you guys are saying here because sometimes, like for example, me coming from Colombia, when I see the level of abundance that there is here, it's something that you also always mention for us to be very mindful of our environment. So if every corner that we see is literally a reminder of how many things are possible to you, although it can be humble or not humble, in some way, shape, or form, is already telling you like, hey, this is possible, and this is what we share in our trainings. This is what we share every single day, encouraging people to believe that abundance is everywhere. The other day I was in the mall and there were people queuing to buy Louis Vuitton, like a long line. And then there's people on the other side of the screen saying, no, there's no money. So I think it's really important for us to see in this conversation to raise the awareness that there is a different reality. And that's the reality that we should really tap on, the reality of abundance, because it's out there. It's about each and every one of us finding the way to tune into that reality and then experience that in this lifetime, right? I think that's really...
Yeah, it's how do we tune into that? I would like to know.
Oh, I can...
Stop sitting in the desert listening to the wind.
Alas, no desert from now on.
I think that actually I shared recently at an event a line from the Bhagavad Gita and talking about detachment, and I think it really resonates with this because I'm not so sure that again it's not good or bad, abundance or wealth or having all these materials. But that line in the Bhagavad Gita was talking about detachment and how it's not about how we, like if we're spiritual, we have to detach from all materials, but and we have to not own any belongings. But it's what in the Bhagavad Gita it's saying that it's not allowing materials to own you, you know. And I think for me personally, like because everyone will have their different perspective on this, right? Maria will have her perspective on seeing that and think, wow, that is possible, and I should tune into it and receive that too, which is really, really cool. I think what I've witnessed coming into this world, this bling bling world, is that when I was growing up, my mom used to say this line about in Chinese about money. She said, "Money glows," and that actually mean when they said it, they mean it in a negative way, saying that people lose themselves in money, or people change their character in money and things like that. And I think when I first came here and we started spending more time here, you start seeing everyone like that, and it's very easy to get lost in that, actually, in the thought process. This person driving that person living there, and you start seeing all of that, and sometimes you feel like you're missing something. So I think that we are, like, what we teach is the balance that is required for human beings to stay sane, grounded, connected. But at the same time, as what Maria is saying, don't need to lose hope or dream of living a more abundant life, but always let yourself know that, not to allow the material world to own you and own your mind and get lost in that thing, because that becomes a bit of a struggle for some people, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's an old like Aboriginal Australians believe that as well. Like a lot of the settlers or the invaders, when they came to Australia, they were able to take a lot of the land eventually, because the indigenous believed that they didn't own the land and that the land owned them. They were custodians or caretakers, and they could take care of it or not take care of it. That was basically it. Yeah.
I think that's beautiful. We lived a life like that as Bedouins here in the UAE. We just moved from
I love
one
that story you
spot.
shared the other night.
Yeah. I mean,
Because you don't look that old.
but I am a little bit old.
And in this lifetime to have lived
Yeah.
in the desert when you were younger in a tent, and that was your life. And then seeing Dubai from nothing to what it is now is must be strange. It must feel like you've lived 2 lifetimes or 3 lifetimes in one lifetime.
Yes. Yeah, that is true. I always feel that way. I feel extremely old. Because it's like when you open not even a door, it's like when you open the parting of the tent and you just see the fog and the camels walking and it's just sand. And then just in a matter of a couple of years, you open a door that belongs to a concrete building. And then like a couple of years come by and there's like this tall building on the beach that's Jumeirah Beach. It's like, it's so mind-boggling because even at that time we didn't have internet. And we only had like TV that would turn on at 5 p.m. That's it, like one channel.
So strange now.
Yes,
in her lifetime, she doesn't look that old, huh?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys remember when you had to adjust the receiver on the rooftop just to receive like.
Yeah, we did that, but not on a desert. Not in the desert.
Yeah, at that time we moved next to the beach, but still there was nothing. We didn't have any shops. I don't know where they even brought the food from. I was too young to realize where it came from. But it was very, very like strange seeing the progression. And when anyone asked me, I can't even tell them and explain to them how that means to me or how I felt during all of that. Just I had to accept it and adjust to it. You have to be very flexible to go through all the transitions of that timeline, you know. Yeah, because most people were resistant to it in a way. They like to just remain in those very close communities. I know a lot of communities that still live in the desert. They have houses, but they don't have internet still. They have camels and goats and they just get seasonal food and they rejected society. So to them, it's beneficial to them. That's what they want. But, you know, it's you have to understand that can be mentally damaging to most people to go through all of that change in a very short amount of time. So you see a lot of locals struggling to, you know, find who they are, know what they are, and know their message, what they want to bring to the world, and yeah.
I really like when she shared the other day. She said that doesn't matter how rich Emiratis become, they can still just put on their wear and go into the desert and just a fire and nothing else and sit on the ground and just feel at home. I don't think we can really resonate in the same way, but it just sounds so beautiful to hear that because that's where they came from, you know? Like
It's so true.
it's like going back to your roots, but like you just what, 30, 40 years ago is not that long ago, you know, and being able to sit at the sand and say, hey, I grew up in this desert, you know.
Yeah. You will see a lot of pictures of Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid. He just goes in the car, they cook on the wood, there's nothing, no setup like the one I did. Nothing. And they just eat with their hands from one shared plate. And it's just with the commoners, and that's it. Yeah, they always do that.
So you didn't give us the full experience then?
No.
You,
Next
you
time.
thought we couldn't handle it.
Yes.
So you
Next
gave us
time.
chairs and everything.
Yeah, it was very spoiled, you know.
There's just one thing that I'm stumped about. Like, what food is seasonal here?
We don't have seasonal food.
Oh,
Yeah, we just catch things from the sea. We dry it. We eat it just like that.
okay.
We have something called fish juice that we add it to bread and we eat. And also we have goat milk, camel milk, and we just... I remember when I was younger, we didn't have any food. There was a famine. So we would just have ghee and rice, and that's it. That's what we would eat. And then we would wait until food would come from the sea. We would like barter with them.
Ooh.
We'd give them like goat milk or something, some camel meat, and then they would give us dried fish.
Oh, okay. So you do eat camel.
Yeah, I've had it a lot of times.
Is it like a common thing?
No,
It's not.
it's
Like, do some people are some people still like, oh my god, eating camel, or is it quite normal here?
No, they eat it. It's fine.
It's quite normal.
Yeah, but it has to be in an occasion, someone getting married, or it's Eid, or you know.
Right. It's very special.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
No, I was just asking that because I mean, for us Chinese, it's normal.
Oh,
Yeah, the Chinese eat anything that moves. So.
oh my God.
Yeah, but I was just thinking, what you know, what do people think?
It's a bit tough and gamey, but it's you know.
Camel meat must be a bit like horse. You don't want to imagine it. You see, so these people cannot handle it because you see because
Really?
it's not used to that concept. Yeah, Chinese is.
You've had horse meat.
I haven't, but
Oh.
my close friends would eat it in front of me. Yes,
Okay.
horse
Interesting.
and dog.
You have had dog meat.
I have not had dog,
Okay.
but my friends do.
That's to your knowledge.
What do you mean? Well, they used to get it sent from China to UK in frozen
Oh.
packages, and they used to cook it in my
Really?
kitchen. So dog, I know they.
That's very interesting.
Yeah. Cat, they said they didn't like the meat very much. They said everyone said it was sour. But
Oh,
I mean, it's just strange, isn't it? I mean, it's strange for people who haven't had it. It's just like camel is, but people who eat it, it's not strange, right?
But how does dog meat taste? If cat meat
I
is
have
sour,
not tried.
what do your friends say about it?
They like it. They really enjoy it. That's why they get it shipped over. But,
Oh,
yeah, but actually, it's not so common anymore. In cities, I think it's banned, so they can only have it in they go to farmlands to get it now because it's banned in cities. Yeah, but there's a lot of. I mean, we eat everything. I mean, not me now, but
yeah.
like Chinese, they eat everything. Like and when they go to UK, it's very it's like it's very happy food party because you know if you go to the butchers in UK, they sell all the meat. Everything that's bone and close to bone or anything, they throw. Any intestines and that, they throw. A lot of things they throw. Ears, they throw. Tongues, they throw. But Chinese, like when we first got our chefs in from China and they came to UK, they would go to the butchers and they, what are you doing with all that? So the tongues and ears and everything. They're like, what are you doing with all that? Throwing it? No, we take it. So every day they get free food, the Chinese, because they love intestines and duck's tongues and chicken's feet and pig's ears, and these are like common everyday, like it's everyday eat, not a wedding or anything. There's like
The ducks have tongues.
yeah,
Yeah,
now
of
you know.
course.
Yeah, actually, you
Yeah.
can buy it here. I seen it in International City. You can buy duck's
Really?
tongue in packets here. The snacks. So you know, like
Maybe we can
sometimes you
try
just eat a pack of nuts. Yeah, Chinese they eat duck's tongues. Yeah.
it? Wow.
Yeah, but it's very cheap because other people are not eating it, you see. So that's why Chinese is like, wow, free food. But it's funny that we have Indians frowning here because I always found that strange. When I went to India, I was like, how come you guys only eat chicken? And it's just like the very standard things. And I'm thinking, but you're so close to China, you know, it's like so many similarities, but you don't eat everything that runs, walks, and
Think it's a religious thing, you know.
but that's more not. No, I don't think there's any religious thing with you and
Chicken? I mean ducks.
ducks'
You know?
feet.
Yeah.
That's not a religious thing.
I mean, I don't know.
Isn't there that verse in the Bible about duck's feet?
What are you talking-
No, I'm just joking.
But I don't think there's a lot of Christians in India.
Actually, there are, you know.
There are
Yeah.
a lot.
I went to church there one time. It was like packed. Surprisingly,
They were there for
packed,
the duck's feet.
yeah, maybe.
I even have my experience with India as well because I used to travel there a lot when I was
Where
a
in
kid.
India was your family from?
Hyderabad.
Okay, Hyderabad.
Yeah, it's predominantly Muslim.
Mm.
Yeah, but I used to see a lot of the fights between the Hindus and the Muslim. Yeah, and my uncles would get
And which side were you
tangled.
fighting for?
Hindus.
You weren't.
No,
you were
no.
just listening to the wind.
No. It was very scary because sometimes fights will happen in the mosque next to us while we are at home, and they will just gather all the children, bring them home. It's like if you go out, you would be killed or something. Yeah.
That was actually happening, or
Yeah. It was like every single time.
are you aware of this?
She's not my age.
Oh, it's like that.
Yeah. It was when I was a kid.
Why do you make yourself sound so old?
I don't know. I lived many lifetimes.
One day we'll find out. Yeah, I'm 72.
I think there's like
Sorry. What just happened?
there's like a 10-year gap between me and her. More than 10 years. Yeah.
Oh, but they're still babies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just sometimes when Tim tells his age, it's like, huh? It's even till today, I sometimes he's I'm like, no, you're not.
Yeah, me and Sneha were asking Tim, what's your secret to staying so young? He said, play football and eat bananas. And I said,
That's why you play every week. now.
yeah, exactly. But this time I'll hold a banana while I play. So I'll just eat it while I play to maximize the results. Yeah.
Tell them about your football experience. Well, it's a life-changing experience, must be. Like, not many people can do what you did.
Yeah, it requires skills.
Hey,
Because this actually is, it was easily the most challenging moment of my life. Easily, by far. Excruciating pain. I was running in one direction, going after the ball after not playing for a long time. And I was running in one direction. My shoe had studs. So I turned, but the shoe stays on the ground. And
that's what happened.
it snapped and I got a fracture in my bone. It literally...
Otis was there or not?
No, I was in front of
Really?
her. Yeah. I saw the whole thing.
Did you ever see the Conor McGregor foot?
No.
No. It was exactly the... Did you see it afterwards, Conor McGregor foot?
I didn't dare. Because I
Yeah.
felt it was
When-
relieving the pain.
When Conor McGregor was fighting, he got kicked so many times, and then he was defending himself. He stood back, and then his foot went this way, and he stamped on the ground, and the foot that is supposed to be like this just goes like this, and it was really, really scary. But when it happened to her, it was like that doesn't. You were just playing football, and nobody touched you. That was like, how did your foot just snap backwards? So, even just watching it, that was tough. Watching it was tough.
Yeah, I saw that the thing just twist. You were right in front of me.
When
Yeah.
it happened, I don't know if anyone has ever gotten a fracture, but I heard the bone crack inside my body.
Oh.
And so when I felt that, and when I was falling to the ground, I knew I'm screwed. Like I knew. And then I didn't want to see, of course, but I saw quickly. And when I saw that, my foot literally looking the other way,
I'm surprised you didn't faint when you seen your.
I know, I thought I was going to literally die. Like I thought my time here in this world finished.
I think half the people nearly fainted just seeing it.
I know.
She just lifted it up and suddenly the foot just like dropped like that. It was,
She was calling for you. I don't know if you remember.
she was
Yeah.
screaming, calling.
Master.
Yeah.
Put it back in.
Yeah. I
Put it
remember.
back in. Because of course, you know what they say, like the more time you let it pass, as you're warm, you don't feel the pain as much. But the more minutes passed by, the pain was just
put it back in,
excruciating. And I was like,
But
"Please just give
but
me
that
some."
adrenaline would have been it probably took you somewhere else, you know,
For sure. I was definitely not there.
because it gives you, you know, when your adrenaline rushes. I don't know how you guys will interpret the how you can relate to it, but sometimes when you're so, it happens when you're really tired or when you're really in pain, or you know, your brain shuts off, and then you don't even know, you're not even there anymore, you don't care anymore. A very strange thing. I can only, like, I felt it because I feel like in my past life I would have snapped my leg before, and I felt it. But actually, when she was saying snap it back, I knew she wasn't there. She was just like, it was just because I mean, my logical mind was thinking, what, just like that? What should we do? Search YouTube video and say how to snap a leg back, and just pop, yep, okay, done, you know? Like, but obviously she wasn't thinking. She was just like, you just got to do something, you know? And she, I think she even said some weird things like, just cut my leg off or something, or get rid of it or something, or knock me out. She said, knock me out. Can you just knock me out? Get something, hit me, knock me out. I don't want to feel this anymore, or something like that. It's like, because blood's rushing, adrenaline's going, and you're just not there, you know. I had that. I had one time I did a 100-mile walk in the UK for charity. It was in the snow, and that's when Google didn't stop for that long, right? So I just Google mapped from Newcastle to Edinburgh. It was a 3-day walk, and we thought, oh yeah, 100-mile walk, that'll do. We'll do it for charity. And then it said 3 days. But it didn't factor in the snow, obviously, and the maps were not that good at that time. So and it didn't factor in path. It wasn't talking about path. So we started walking, and we're following this map, and no GPS then. It was using a map, right? So we printed out the thing from Google, and we're holding the map, and we're walking, and then we realized we're walking on the highway, and we're like, "Where's the path? There's no path. It's just highway." And imagine we've been walking for like maybe 7, 8, 9 hours in the snow, and you're really tired and everything, and it comes the middle of the night and you're still walking. And we were not prepared, so we didn't have the lights and things, reflective, didn't have anything. So we were lost in the middle of the night after walking 2 days. And then it got so that evening, we were walking on the highway, and cars were beeping at us all the way, but we were like, well, there's no path. What can we do? And everyone's just tired. Nobody's speaking to each other at that point. There's probably about 7 of us, and we're just like, oh, just walk, keep walking. And we're like zombies. It was a really strange thing, right? Because it was like, oh, and it goes beep, beep, and it's like, oh, there's another car just nearly ran us over. It's okay, keep walking. So keep walking. And it's like, oh, and then in my mind was like, I'm probably going to die, Yeah, we probably are. Like, nobody can see us, and no reflective gear, and yeah, a car's probably going to hit us soon. But it's okay. It's okay because I'm tired anyway, you know. It's a really strange thing, right?
Really?
It was like that. Like, mind was just cut off. Yeah. And then what happened was we trekked and we were just too tired. The snow was heavy. And then we found a house, and we knocked on the house, and we just said, could we just have some water or something? So we knocked on the house. We sat in there. She had a fire there, and she let us all in. We sat there, and she gave us all a cup of tea, and we sat there, and we started waking up. Our body was warming up, and we started to wake up, and my mind was coming back. I was like, did we just walk the last 20 miles in the middle of the highway with no reflective gear, and it's snowing, and we're going to die? And every car was beeping at us, turning the corners because they couldn't see us at first. And I was like, why did we think that was an idea at all? We just stopped there and we went home. We said, enough. Going crazy, you know? And that's the best relation I can give, when your mind just cuts off and you just don't care anymore. Just do whatever. Just cut it off. Take it. Don't care anymore.
That's very strange.
I think I said that when someone called the wrong number. So the ambulance came, but it was not the ambulance. And so I needed, at that point, I was like, yeah, universe, take me. You know, it really comes to that point where you don't it's not logical anymore. You just surrender.
So who did they call? Like the mobile butcher?
I don't remember.
I was dealing with the security, and when he first saw Maria, I was seeing him holding 2 phones, and he was shaking. And I was talking to him. He was not responding to me.
Who was shaking?
The security.
Oh, okay.
He was saying, I
thought
don't
you
know
said
what to
the
do.
doctor was shaking.
No.
Then you should be scared, right? Why is the doctor scared?
Yeah, he's the one that called the wrong ambulance. So then I went and called the right ambulance. But I felt like everyone was, not knowing what to do.
But I see a like a spiritual thing there. Like when human mind shuts off, you feel safe. Like you feel safe to go. Do you understand? Think about that a second. Your mind is human. Your soul, your energy, just when that is not thinking anymore, actually you don't feel like death is scary. I think it's a very spiritual thing, because actually I've had 2 experiences of that. One was that other thing I just explained, but actually the second one was actually when I caught COVID. Right. It was so strange because I caught it bad, and when I was bedbound, I was saying to Josh at that time, I remember, and he said he felt the same. I would actually wake up in the morning, and my mind was just, what is going on? And it's just like, I don't know what this heavy thing is. And then I'd be like, it's okay. You can take me now. You can. I actually thought that.
Yeah.
And how can you catch a flu that you just like, afterwards when you wake back up and your mind's working again, you're kind of like, what was I thinking? You know what I mean? Take me now. It's just a flu, right? And it's like, it's so strange. But I think that when it proves when your mind is cut off and you're no longer thinking, you are returning to the safety of home, your divine being, your godly, senses, which it's safe, it's okay. God is saying, I'm here for you.
Very interesting, because I had the same experience with the bird's flu.
Yeah.
But I don't think my mind shut off at any point, because to the last point where I was like delirious and going in and out, I was still like, no, I don't want to die. But I wasn't scared, but I don't know.
Then your mind didn't cut off.
It didn't cut off. I feel like not in my entire life did I experience a moment where my mind didn't cut off. It's always in survival mode. So I crave just that connection. Maybe that's why I was in the desert all this time.
So you want it to cut off?
Yeah, I want to experience that safety.
Knock her on the head or something. Throw her off the roof, see what happens.
I'll still be like, no, I don't want to die.
I don't want to die.
I said, there's still so much that Dubai is going to achieve. I want to see all of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of an experience where I can relate. And at 19, I fell 8.6 meters onto cement.
Wow.
And wound up in a coma for 2 nights and stopped breathing in the ambulance. Suffered like massive amount of trauma in my brain and body, and basically woke up 2 days later with tubes going in and out, in me and out of me, and had to relearn to do everything again. But one of the first things that I remember was the doctor reaching out to me just there. He put his hand on my shoulder and he looked in my eyes and he said, "Be positive. Your blood type is B positive."
That was actually a good one.
That just spun the whole universe, and everything just started speaking to me like a lot differently and making a lot more sense. Yeah, but I think like going through that situation, I can understand why people are afraid of death, but on the other hand, like you say, like our brains have just got all these chemicals in them that it's just designed to go through that process eventually. Knock on wood that it doesn't happen anytime in the near future, but you know, it's all set out. It's all meant to be. We don't really have to worry about that. Like the pain that you went through, you were detached from it, right? There was part of you that was just not exactly in that moment.
Yes.
Yeah?
100%. It's a interesting experience.
Yeah.
A lot of lessons. I think the biggest one is learning how to really surrender, because first surgery, when is gonna happen? Doctor, when is gonna happen? Please tell me when it's gonna happen. It wouldn't change. It doesn't matter how many times you ask. I don't have an answer. How come you don't have an answer? You're the doctor. Tell me when. Doesn't matter. Inshallah. That's when I learned the meaning. First surgery, don't know what's gonna happen. When you finally let go, okay, you're next. Second surgery, when is gonna happen? Day 1, fasting. No, not today. Day 2, fasting until 6 p.m. Not today. Day 3, I completely lost track of time. All I could see was from my window, light, no light, light, no light. And those were the days. And I was like, oh my God. My mom, I'm okay now. But my family back in Colombia, they still don't know it was this big. Then second surgery, I remember I texted you, Master Ja. I am not gonna expect anything anymore. I don't know how much time I'm gonna be here. And I remember I sent you a long message, because thank you. You were such a big support in that moment of my life. And I remember I sent you that message and I was like, I'm gonna completely 100% allow, because I can't do anything. I can't move. I can't walk, go to the bathroom. 2 people have to carry me. And then when I sent you that message, 10 minutes later, you go to surgery. So maybe universe wanted to show me and then to share with you guys that sometimes we want to know the answer. Sometimes we want to know the doctor's name. We want to know the time of the surgery. We want to know when we're going to go out. But life is, I don't even know who did the surgery to me. I don't remember the time, nothing. When the whole goal and you understand that you are protected and you are where you're meant to be, no matter how challenging the situation can be, you just flow and you learn to really, as you say, dance with the universe and what is given to you. Because maybe there's people who are listening to this podcast right now from a hospital or from a wheelchair. I was in a wheelchair for almost 2 months. Crutches, relying on other people to do basic things like going to the bathroom or walking. I would even not drink water just to not go to the bathroom because moving was so painful. So if there's anyone who's going through something like this, just know that there is a reason why you're going through that struggle. And that's your message as well, because we all go through different experiences in life, and it's all there for a purpose. It's all there for a reason, so that you can find that voice and show the rest of the world that it doesn't matter if you can't walk or if you can't get out of your bed or you can't do something. That's just a situation that at the end of the day will make your story way more powerful, because you will show there's so many other people. They don't have arms, they don't have legs, and they make so much impact, so much success. And then I ask, what is your excuse? For those of us who are complete, we have our hands, our legs, we breathe, we see, we can touch, we feel. So what is the excuse to not take action and do something for those who are waiting for your message right now?
That's right, yeah.
So I think the perspective, have an attitude of gratitude, and always know that there's somebody going through something even more difficult, maybe even 10 times, 100 times, even 1,000 times more difficult than what you're going through, and put everything into perspective. And to sum up what Maria just said there, I think that a nice way to end it is to always do the best that we can. So that's all we are accountable for. We do our best, and the universe will do the rest. I think this is the
Makes our walls look not so dirty now, right?
yeah. We'll clean the walls
We
for
can
you
paint them
guys
now,
next
Master.
time.
We can paint them now,
Yeah,
please.
we'll paint them.
Okay.
But it still smells salty.
No.
Thank you so much, amazing creators, for joining us in this amazing podcast today. Thank you so much, Master, for
Thank
being
you.
here.
Thank you.
Thank you, beautiful team. And thank you for making this possible. If you liked this show and you want to share some love in the comments, remember to write it down and hit the like button. Also, if you feel that this is something that is going to empower someone, make sure to hit the share button and just share the love with people you feel will resonate with this message. And also remember to subscribe to our channel. We will be having a lot more powerful conversations like this one. So make sure to not miss out by clicking the little bell on the side. So that way you will receive all the notifications when we upload a new episode. Other than that, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.
Namaste.